Hey everybody, I was thinking about the first post I did for this podcast, Never Mind Me podcast. And that first post that I did was, why do podcasts? And the reason that I posted that was because I was thinking about the other podcasts that I have, The Power of Hope and Some Roses Are Red, and how I didn't really get the feedback that I wanted and the response that I wanted. So um, I was just, kind of not necessarily bummed about it, but I just thought about, like, what's the point of making another podcast that would make three podcasts that I'm not too sure that if people are really digging what I'm talking about, or even digging me personally, how I come across, or my voice, or whatever the case may be. And the what I came up with was, I think that each and every one of us has a voice for a reason and has a perspective for a reason. And I think it's all valid. And I think that we should be speaking from our perspective on just, different topics and different points of view. So that's kind of the reason why I made it. But I was thinking about that in regard to this podcast, because this podcast has been much more effective. And when I say effective, I guess I mean more people have resonated with it. They've commented about it. They People talk to me about it when I see them in person sometimes. Um, way more, way more views, I guess, or downloads. People subscribe to the channel, and it's just very interesting because I don't know. I can't say I know specifically why. And of course, the website that hosts my podcast, it gives you a lot of different metrics on, demographics of the people who listen, what platform they listen on, and it'll tell you very, very key demographics if you're looking from a metric standpoint, which is cool because I do appreciate that. But I can't, I can't wrap my mind around what is it that makes people listen to me specifically. I know I listen to podcasts if the people are interesting and the subject matter is interesting. So maybe that's it. Maybe the subject matter is interesting, or maybe they enjoy my viewpoint, or maybe they like the voice. I don't care. I don't mind. Hey, if it works, it works. But I'm really, really interested in why, specifically, why you listen to this podcast. Because I can account for a couple of the listens, friends and family. You can account for that. But some of the numbers that I've gotten on some episodes, I can't account for. That's not just friends and family. That's just not, I couldn't just say, well, that must be so and so, so and so, and so and so, because it's a number that I can't, I can't readily name off. So I wonder what draws you to this podcast. What makes you keep listening? What makes you interested in what I have to say, or um, what I feel about what other people have said? So that's my question, I guess, for today. What makes you interested in this podcast specifically? Um, because what's interesting is I did an episode a while back called Black Girls Rock, and I think I recorded it maybe right when I did the very first episode, because I record in blocks sometimes, so I may record like 5 or 6 in a day, or like I may just do a bunch of them back to back, but I don't necessarily post them like that. So the Black Girls Rock episode, it was just, just how I felt. Like, everything is just, my perspective of how I felt. But that one did probably the best of all the episodes I've posted thus far, and that's including all of the podcasts over all the platforms. So it was just, I couldn't figure out why. And of course, you can say, well, maybe your listener base is more heavily geared toward black women, and that's possible. But I don't, I can't say for sure. So, and I didn't want to, do a bunch of episodes with all my thoughts on black women, because I didn't want to come off as pandering, because that day I was really just thinking about black women and how prevalent they've been in my life, and how they have such a seat of honor to me personally. So that's why I posted that episode. So it's just interesting, because I'm like, well, who is my fan base? Who listens to me, and who thinks that I have an interesting perspective, and who thinks that I have an informative approach? Maybe nobody. Maybe just those people. But I'm happy for it. So in addition to thinking about why people would subscribe to the podcast, I also think about how thankful I am that people do. I'm thankful that, I made another podcast that I really, really, really do enjoy doing, and I really am excited about recording episodes and even expressing my thoughts about it, because it is interesting to me. And I'm very happy that people have gravitated toward some of the episodes more than others, but they've gravitated toward the podcast. And it hasn't been because you've been inundated with ads or with a strong marketing campaign. This was really just word of mouth, pretty much. Just people commenting on what they thought about the subject matter, or what they thought about the presentation, or what have you. And I'm really, really thankful for that, because like I always say, I do truly enjoy, I really, really enjoy doing these podcasts. I really, really enjoy talking on a platform where you can be heard, and you can be heard, because in this podcast, it's just me talking, pretty much like some of the other ones are. Sometimes I have a guest on there or a guest speaker or something, but this is just me. So it's really affirming in that I'm glad that I took that step to record another podcast, and I'm glad that I did it, because I believe strongly, still do, that everyone has a voice. Everyone has a perspective that is new and that is different. It's just you have to find your audience. So if you're listening to this episode, or if you listen to any other episode, I'm glad that you found something about this entire presentation that resonates with you, or something about this entire presentation that that speaks to you in any way, because I'm thankful for that, because a lot of times you don't know if what you do, or what you say, or what you present comes across the way that you want it to. So I think that in doing this, it at least comes across in a way that people can resonate with. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for the opportunity that this time in humanity has afforded, where people like myself can just invest in, a little bit of equipment and a little bit of research to post something that kind of speaks to people and talks to people right where they are. So I do plan on continuing this podcast. Got a couple plans about how to make it grow, and a couple different plans on how to put it in a different position to reach more people, and to expound on the thought processes, and expound on the topics in general. So I'm thankful that you've listened this far, and I pray that I keep you interested. I pray that I keep you I don't know what the word would be, thought provoked. I pray that I continue to provoke good thoughts, and I pray that as you respond, that I continue to be inspired by you as well, because I'm inspired by people who listen to what I have to say, and voice an opinion, and voice a separate thought, because I don't think the same thing that everybody thinks at the exact same time, and neither do you. So I'm thankful that you would feel comfortable enough with me to email or text or make a post back, replying to some of the episodes, or just even sharing your thoughts on, what I've talked about, or something similar that you've lived in your life. So thank you very much again. Thank you to you personally. Thank you to you collectively. And I guess that's all I have.